Hey guys, what is up? All right, we are pretty much ready. Pretty much showtime here. All right, let's set some stuff up here while we got everything going. All right. We got YouTube connecting. We got Facebook connecting. Periscope is connecting. Waiting on my Twitch audience to connect. All right, there we go. We got our Twitch audience. We are pretty much good to go. All right. So, almost showtime. Gonna play some intros and all that. A couple of ads from our sponsors. And then we're pretty much gonna get into the gist of the show. We'll get into the gist of the show. All right, let's see here. You guys want to go grab a quick drink? You can do that. You guys want to use the bathroom real quick? You can do that before we get ready to dive into this here. All right, let me just set up one thing while I'm looking in here. See how this is looking. Okay, yeah, let's change that real quick. I'm gonna change that real quick here. We're gonna start in 60 seconds, folks. 60 seconds. All right. And let's just change this real quick. That's exactly what we want. All right. And let's just go ahead and save that. Okay, that looks good. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the show. All right, let's go ahead and load this up. Folks, if you're like me and work as an essential worker, then you know how physical and demanding our respected jobs can be on a day-to-day basis. And as you get older, let's face it, those aches and pains really start to kick in. For me, it's all in my back and in my legs. When that happens, I real-time it with real-time pain relief lotion. It has natural ingredients and it smells awesome. Great for muscle strains, back aches, even arthritis. Real-time it. Knock it out. Take care of that pain today. You can find this and more great non-chemical pain relief, skincare, and beauty products, even PPE products at this unique URL that I'm going to provide to you all, as the original one has many characteristics in it you may not remember it. So I've made this URL very simple, very super easy for you all. Check out tinyurl.com/realtime products. That's tinyurl.com/realtime products, and it'll take you to all the products that Realtime has to offer. If you miss any of that information, have no fear. It's included in the episode description of this very episode. Folks, be sure to check out my friend Skeletor Ghosts over at ALGOally.com. Now, what exactly is ALGO Ally? They are a group of market option traders where they help people become financially independent while making a profit quickly in the stock market, all while providing the best tools to stay on top of the competition. They offer watch lists, live trading to follow along, and an educational server. Please use the unique URL tinyurl.com/Skeletor Ghosts, as that'll take you directly to ALGO Ally's own representative, Skeletor Ghosts, so they can help you get started on the path to a better, prosperous tomorrow today. All with signing up and getting a limited free trial of their services that you can cancel at any time. So what are you waiting for? Use that unique URL, tinyurl.com/Skeletor Ghosts. And for those of you that don't know how to spell Skeletor, SKELETOR, tinyurl.com/Skeletor Ghosts. And if you missed any of that information, have no fear. It's available in the episode description of this very episode.
Warning, the The RCWR Show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR Show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Yeah. What is going on for Monday night of October 5th, 2020? You're checking out an all-new, the RCWR Show, covering the latest in wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. Lee Sanders here. What's going on, my pretty babies? Great to be with you guys once again. We're here less than 24 hours ago. We did a NXT TakeOver post-show, did we not? So that was a lot of fun, too. If you guys didn't check out my NXT TakeOver 31 post-show, after you get done with this, piggy on back and scoop that up, as it is available wherever you get your podcast. We also have the webcast version of that available as well on YouTube. We're streaming live as we speak. Take your pick, man. We're streaming live on the Twitter/Periscope. We're streaming on the YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Facebook, over on our Facebook page. So we're all over the place, man. So wherever you're checking us out right now, appreciate you as always. Particularly appreciate those of you that go out of your way and check out the show on demand and on the download. So Raw this week, I'm not going to put out a poll. I usually put out a poll asking you guys, what did you think about Monday Night Raw? I'm not going to put that poll out. I think we can all be in agreement. There were a couple of elements tonight that made us go, I mean, if we really had to home in on just one thing, it would be that Mustafa Ali joint. That's really it. But with regards to just Raw overall tonight, it was just kind of one of those, okay, so this is it. This is that last big hoorah that you're giving us as we get ready to go into the draft. I'm sorry, but for me personally, I'm more excited about the draft coming up than what I had got tonight. I was expecting things to really just pop tonight going into the draft, but because when it's all said and done, some of these people that we're seeing on this final Raw and SmackDown, this could be the very last time we see them on that respected brand/show before the draft. So I was expecting a lot of sizzle in there, a lot of pop, but we didn't get that. We didn't get that tonight. By the way, quick programming note, has nothing to do with me and the shows. I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but for those of you that watch Investigation Discovery, ID, the Death Channel as I like to call it, there is a new special that's on. It's about 2 hours. I missed the initial airing of it. It came on at 10 o'clock. So basically, it came on essentially the third hour of Monday Night Raw. Looks like it's a 2-hour special. OJ and Nicole, an American Tragedy. And they're talking to the sister of Nicole Brown Simpson. There's apparently, just kind of whet y'all's appetite a little bit. Apparently, there was a series of notes from a diary that Nicole wrote about. Some of it had to do with OJ beating her and some other shit. I mean, I watched just a couple of seconds so far, and it really, really grips you. It really takes you in. So if you guys want something to check out, especially if you're not that familiar with the whole OJ and Nicole tragedy there, which it was. I remember living through that in real time, and crazy. Some of the craziest shit that I can remember from back in the day. But you might want to set your DVRs for it. Again, on ID Investigation Discovery. It's about to go off, but they're going to be showing an encore, I believe, at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They're going to be showing an encore at 1 o'clock. Just trying to look out for you guys that like to switch it up on your programming and everything. So, yeah, man, Raw, just, kind of one of those type of deals, man. You notice the pattern that we sometimes get when you are kind of high off of a pay-per-view and you're so excited, you're like, man, I can't wait to watch Monday's show. Oh, man, things should be popping. This should be sizzling. gonna get that sizzle, gonna get that pop, and then you go into that Monday show, and then you go, yeah, well, that was nice. That was real nice. Should have had a V8. And tonight was one of those nights where you just go, should have had a V8. But no, as far as key points from Raw tonight, we don't really need to spend as much time going in depth about Raw. We could talk about just key points because there's loads of other interesting topics that we can get into, including my own personal experience out here in the nation's capital. As many of you all know, unless you've been on vacation somewhere and you just disconnected from social media and the news, our president was in the hospital. He was at Walter Reed Hospital. I actually have to go through that area as well as all of NIH on my way to work, to and from work, every time I work and everything. And I actually recall seeing the president on the helicopter as it was landing at the Walter Reed Hospital and all that. So, of course, we'll talk about the president. It makes a lot of sense. I don't usually dive into politics, but in this particular case, because I know there's definitely some of you guys that's like, hey, what's the vibe? And, I can definitely give you a firsthand account what it was like being in that area and everything. We got that. We got some sports talk that we can get into. So we got a nice jam-packed show we could talk about. So we don't really honestly need to be dedicating a whole 45 minutes to almost an hour talking about Raw, but just talking about the key points from tonight's Raw. Look, Mustafa Ali apparently being, I guess you want to call it the maestro of Retribution. I mean, that's a fucking twist. That had a M. Night Shyamalan fucking, what a twist! I didn't see that coming. I don't recall anybody, friends, colleagues, the fans, I don't recall anybody almost unanimously going, or just period, saying, what would be kind of badass? Mustafa Ali is part of freaking Retribution. I didn't see any of that. Saw a couple of names floating around. I know one name I floated around there. I said, how about Keith Lee? And I said this a couple of weeks ago, so I don't want to rehash things, but before anybody goes, wait, Keith Lee, the way I laid it out a couple of weeks ago, it was a nice freaking idea as far as Keith Lee, and it all tied into Survivor Series and everything. And so it was a nice setup the way that I had did it, because it was also kind of addressing a main elephant in the room, which is, okay, we know Mia Yim is part of Retribution, so, okay, WWE's doing a phenomenal job so far, having Mia and Keith Lee separated there. Their paths aren't crossing on Raw, but how exactly are we going to address that kind of elephant in the room there? And it's pretty obvious that's Mia Yim and everything. So one idea I had pitched was, well, why not Keith Lee? Why not go with the Keith Lee direction? So now look, that may possibly still happen. He possibly may be a mole. And he may freaking turn coats at Survivor Series. It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen now because of this new development with Mustafa. But let me tell you something. I have been and I want to choose these next set of words carefully, because I don't need somebody to go, wait a minute, revisionist history. Nah, man. But I want to choose these next words carefully, which is this. I've always been a fan of Mustafa Ali's in-ring work. Always. His entrance gear and all that, for me personally, to each its own, but for me personally, I think he has some of the most coolest gear that's out there as far as these new modern superstars go and everything. I think just the ideas he has in his head and what comes down on the paper and then what is actually designed for him, I think he has some of the freshest, make your head turn kind of gear. I really do. And for me, the main problem that I always had with Mustafa Ali, it was, okay, well, the personality is a bit bland. I mean, we've seen so many incarnations, personalities-wise, of Mustafa Ali. We went down last week. We went down that road last week with the personalities. We don't need to rehash it again. You guys, we don't need to be long-winded with it.
So for me, to see Mustafa Ali come back within recent weeks, and that was another problem that I had with Mustafa. It was touch and go with him 1 minute, and then we don't see him again for a significant period of time. And we all were really under the impression that that last go round that Mustafa returned, oh, Mustafa's coming back and Mustafa is this creepy cyber stalker, whatever the hell, GTV. If y'all remember the Attitude Era and all that, you're going, oh, this GTV all over again. But that never really popped. I mean, we kept getting the teasers for it and we're under the impression Mustafa Ali is behind this, but then nothing really came to fruition. Once again, it was touch and go, breathe and stop. For real? Give me what you got. One of those moments, and it just, okay, now we're off again. And now we get Mustafa Ali, who hasn't been back on the main roster that long, seeing him partnering up with Ricochet, Apollo Crews, taking on the Hurt Business. You're like, okay, well, this flows pretty good. And then you go into tonight, and you understand the circumstances leading up to Mustafa Ali challenging MVP to a match. And the balls on this guy. I mean, I got to admit to you, when I saw that segment with Mustafa Ali challenging MVP, and then telling him, hey, once I get done with you, then I'm going to be coming after Lashley, then I'm going to be coming after Shelton. And these guys are just laughing their asses off at him like, wow, this guy's got some serious balls. Like, seriously, what the hell's going on here? And I love the interesting proposition that MVP had tried to put, not just on Mustafa, but on Apollo Crews and Ricochet earlier in the night, which was, hey, this could be the last time that we're all here together on this brand. You know, the draft has a way of switching things up, has a way of elevating people and everything. Look what it did for Apollo Crews, for example. So MVP extending the invitation one more time. Hey, you guys, you want? There's one slot available, one night only. Y'all can come join the Hurt Business. What do you say? Think about it. You know, well, they thought about it and they didn't want to go through with that, as we pretty much had went into a tag match. And that tag match, by the way, matter of fact, let me pull up my Raw notes here. I really didn't take that many notes tonight here for Raw. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull that up, because right now I'm trying to remember offhand what was the tag match that those cats had. And let's see here. I got my notes open right now. Bear with me a second, and I'll just blaze through this real quick here. Survey says it was... Oh, I think I just missed it. No, it was later on. It was the fourth match of the night. Hurt Business took on Apollo Crews and Ricochet. And Hurt Business had came out on top with that one. You know, Ricochet, hey man, we're just going to keep coming back no matter what. And you're just kind of going, oh great, another glitch in the Matrix. So we just are not done yet with this feud or whatever the hell it is that you got going on. And as I just mentioned a few seconds ago, later on in the night, Mustafa Ali, pretty pissed off what had went down and everything, decides he wants to challenge them. Now, did y'all notice tonight, no Cedric Alexander? Did y'all notice that? I ain't seen no Cedric Alexander. If Cedric Alexander was there at ringside, please let me know. But I do not recall seeing Cedric Alexander there tonight. Just marinate on that for a little bit, because I'm bringing his name up for a very good reason. So, to see later on in the night, Ali taking on MVP, and you're going, okay, well, this should definitely be a pretty damn good matchup. Okay, all right, I'm down for this. This should be pretty popping. This should be freaking good. Well, then we get the lights flickering and all that other craziness that's going on, and you're going, oh, Retribution. They're making a freaking appearance. Hurt Business, thinking we got one ally here in Mustafa Ali. Surely we can put our differences to the side here, at least for one night, and we can unite to face a common enemy here. And you're like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of, oh, why not? We got the draft coming up. Anything can possibly happen. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's freaking go there. Mustafa Ali rolls out of the ring. I just love that whole element there. I love that. I love this whole new, man, I don't care what's going on. If I'm going to get my ass whooped, I'm going to get my ass whooped. That whole gritty. That's what he had tonight. He had grit. He had that, you know what? If I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. Guns blazing. I'm going to go out on my sword. He goes out there, goes right into the face. Who was it there? T-Bar and whoever else the other guy was. Rising, whatever the fuck. You know, Sugar Pie, Honey Bunch, and Gummy Drops, whatever the fuck their names are. I don't care. But I like how he just goes up to them like he's ready to throw down. And then he just turns and looks at the Hurt Business, smiling, and starts directing traffic. Says nothing. He's just doing the freaking pointing, and Retribution is taking care of the Hurt Business. So, mind fucked. Mind fucked. Did not see that coming. I love it. This creates, see, one of the main problems that we have been seeing with the WWE talent last year, going into almost the first half of this year, okay, what are we doing to really help elevate these new stars that, you know, we're getting on a weekly basis? What are we doing to really help push them to that next level and trying to help them become household names? Because Lord knows we can only rely on the Kanes, the Big Shows, and the other cats, but for so long there. So what exactly, and according to you guys, Cedric Alexander has been missing in action now for 2 weeks. I am seeing what you guys saying in the chat, so please don't think I'm ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to, I got to balance it out. I got to jump in where I can slide you guys in there and, you know, just back and forth. You know how it is. But shout out to Seven and Great Knot saying Cedric has not been on Raw at least for the past 2 weeks. So again, marinate on that. We're going to come back to that in a hot second. There's a reason why I want y'all to marinate on that. So for Mustafa Ali, again, the point that I was making earlier, last year, going into the first couple of months of this year, roster was hurting as far as really trying to establish new stars. It's like, okay, you can only rely on the big shows. You can only rely on the Randy Ortons, the Charlotte Flairs. You know, where's that next tier? Where's that next tier that's being built up that could essentially equal those stars, if not eclipse them? And so to see where things are right now with Mustafa Ali, I think this is one hell of a development. One hell of a development that has my curiosity at an all-time high. Now, yeah, I'm very curious now. Okay, you add this new wrinkle. Let's see where it's going here. And this is honestly a wrinkle that they needed because, let's be honest, the Retribution angle, before they added Mustafa Ali into the mix, the Retribution angle had to be one of the stupidest angles in modern WWE history. It just did. You really stop and think about it. It just is. Just on the principle alone that these guys were given WWE contracts. Now, marinate on this for a little bit here. I think I mentioned this on last week's show. Why? See, this is how you kind of know that WWE really doesn't truly have a blueprint on where exactly they're going as far as, okay, this whole month, this is what we're doing. Going into month 2, this is what we're going to be bridging into. This bridge is in the month 3, 4, 5, 6. You get the point. So what I don't understand is, why would we have Retribution sign WWE contracts? I appreciate the guys T-Bar and them going to social media, trying to clean that mess up. I do. It's their job. But let's be honest. The minute that these guys are done with fucking WWE for whatever the respective reason is, and they go do their freaking rounds with the shoot interviews with the R video guys and all that. By the way, I got some R video news for you guys, especially you all that are fans of Road Warriors, so keep it tight. But you know, you just, you know, thinking about like, yeah, why do these guys, why are they getting contracts? That makes no sense. Why? And now you're looking at the fact that, oh, by the way, we got the draft. So you're telling me that Retribution could possibly be drafted to SmackDown? Because remember, the contracts that Retribution signed, they're, for some weird fucking reason, they're exclusive to Raw. So see, one of the questions that now comes into your mind, and I really wish in storyline, somebody of the writing team would have had the common sense to go, hey guys, you know, we got the draft coming up. It begins on SmackDown. Do you possibly think that tonight might be the very last time we see Retribution here? I mean, with this new development with Mustafa Ali and everything, that's what makes it so, when you really stop and think about it, oh, Retribution isn't going anywhere. Retribution is not going anywhere. And you know, not for nothing, but if you really wanted to clean up what we had got tonight, you could have easily, at one point, that point I just made, you could have easily had one of the commentators say, you know, it's good that you brought that up, because I actually was talking to somebody that's part of the WWE board of whatever. And they could say, apparently the contract that these guys signed, they've got immunity from the draft. Like, say what? Like, yeah, they got immunity for the draft. These guys aren't going anywhere. So if you really stop and think about it, the draft, Retribution signing these contracts, it just really feels like, okay, now I'm at the elevator. Okay, now what? Now I'm going to press the button. Okay, I'm going to get in the elevator. Okay, and then what? I haven't figured it out that far yet. It's kind of like one of those type of deals right now with Retribution. So the Retribution angle, it has been very, what are we doing here? So now that we've got this new wrinkle with Mustafa Ali, my curiosity has been revigorated. I'm now truly enlightened, and I want to see where this goes, because if this goes where I think it can go, I mean, it has a lot of potential to go into a militia, almost want to borrow from the headlines, rip from the headlines there. It has that potential to really go there. So we'll have to see. We will have to see where it goes. Let me see how we're doing on time here, only because we got some ad sponsors that we got to tackle, and I am seeing it is that time. We got to slide in a couple of sponsor breaks that I want you guys to hear, and then we are pretty much going to be commercial free from then on. So check out a couple of words from our sponsors here, one and only time. It might apply to you, and if it doesn't, you can do the next best thing. You can forward it to a friend, family member, co-worker. I'm sure it will definitely apply to them. If you want to use that time right now to maybe go grab a quick drink of water, you know, want to use the bathroom, let the dog out or whatever, you can definitely do that real quick as well. But stick around. We got loads more to talk about. You're checking out the RCWR show for October 5th, 2020. We'll be coming right back.
WTP-synthetics.com. WTP-synthetics.com. We, the people, synthetics. We, the people, synthetics, provide you with the highest quality of synthetic lubricants, ranging from gasolines to heavy-duty diesel and more. Have a Freedom machine? We have the best quality oil for your 4-stroke and 2-stroke motorcycles as well. Our synthetic lubricants and additives are designed to meet your most demanding jobs. Let us help you with your personal vehicle, commercial, or retail needs. Head on over to WTP-synthetics.com. WTP-synthetics.com. One more time, WTP-synthetics.com. Shirtsandapparel.com. At shirtsandapparel.com, anyone can upload their own images and custom text to a different style of t-shirts, hoodies, caps, drink koozies, coffee mugs, posters, clipboards, tote bags, stickers, even coolers. And they have a lot of social justice t-shirts that's being made right now for customers. So
if you're interested in making your own political shirts, you can do that and more at shirtsandapparel.com. Ready to get started today? I know you are. Head on over there right now. shirtsandapparel.com. One more time, shirtsandapparel.com. Searching for her runaway child, Jacqueline Ellsworth is led into the derelict parts of western Pennsylvania after hearing of the supposed miracles of tech industrialist Anthony Charles. She suspects her child is taken by the surrounding cult, but as she winds up in the rundown township of Dormsburg, its practices turn more sinister and grotesque by the hour. The cult's leader is about to return. Horrifying rituals are hidden behind the walls and under the streets. As Jacqueline tries to escape, she discovers why this place seems so familiar. Cult of the Eclipse is Winfield's explosive debut and an electrifying ride of body horror, delusion, and why people are lured into malicious cults. Pick up your copy of Cult of the Eclipse by Winfield today on Amazon.com. Pick it up in paperback or Kindle edition. Cult of the Eclipse, the explosive debut from author Winfield. Pick your copy up today. All right, the RCWR show, we are back. We're still talking about just a couple of key points from tonight's Monday Night Raw. Love hearing the opening there of Randy Orton kicking back. It almost felt as though Randy Orton was having his Shaquille O'Neal sitting with the steel chair backwards.
Icy hot. Telling you guys something y'all need. Icy hot when your back is just feeling not too good and your body's aching and sore all over. Yeah, you all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about when your body ain't feeling too good. You just want to grab yourself. You want to get Vaseline. But Vaseline don't really do nothing. You want to grab some butter, but the butter don't really do anything. So, when you feeling the way you feel, those things don't work. You want to go ahead and you want to get you some Icy Hot. Man up and get you some Icy Hot.
It was almost kind of like Randy Orton was kind of having one of those type of moments there, and you go, oh, this should be interesting. And I just love hearing how he was being reminiscent of beating the shit out of Christian, Big Show, Ric Flair, is beating the crap out of those guys all in the dark and shit. And I love how they were cutting in little scenes there as Randy Orton was talking and how everybody was just laid out on the ground and he's doing whatever. The only thing that was missing, now that I really stopped and think about it, the only thing that was missing from Ric Flair getting his ass beaten, all that, I would have loved it if after the lights went out, peep this out. Go back and watch that joint from last week. You didn't really hear guys that were going, you didn't really hear any of that. And you're damn sure, I'm very greatly disappointed in this, you didn't hear Ric Flair in the dark, oh God, no, oh God, you didn't hear any of that going on. That was the only thing that was missing. I would have loved to hear that. I would love to have heard that, man. But you're going, okay, all right, Randy, cool. Nice little spot there by Randy Orton, relishing in what he did to all of those legends from last week and everything. And he's pretty much issuing a challenge to Drew McIntyre. He wants to face him one-on-one. Puts a very interesting caveat to this Hell in a Cell match, which is Drew McIntyre, if you really want to cement your legacy, if you truly want to take your career to that next level, truly want to validate the legitimacy of your championship, then you'll face me in this match, Hell in a Cell. And you're like, okay. Next thing you know, Drew McIntyre out of nowhere beating the shit out of him. Pretty much he accepts this. Good. By the way, I know I used to make fun of Drew McIntyre off and on for a couple of weeks there. Put your screen up in there. Put your hand up. Touch the screen. I'm right there with you. We're in this fight together. It's you and me. You're not alone. I feel you. I can feel you pulsing into the touch of my fingertips, running through my veins, going through my muscles, going through my blood vessels, pumping into my heart. I can feel you, and all that shit. It's nice to be seeing this new aggressive side of Drew McIntyre. I must say, I've been enjoying it. So, looks like by all accounts, they're going to be having this match at Hell in a Cell. We kind of got a little bit of a tune-up match between both of these men as later on in the night, main event match actually, we saw a 6-man tag match as Drew McIntyre teamed up with the Street Profits. Yeah, Street Profits. And not for nothing, but Ric Flair is their boy. As far as doing it in style, doing it with flair, bling-blinging and all that, Flair has helped them out quite a bit early in their career there. So, as far as they're concerned, Flair's cool people with them, so they wanted to extract a little bit of revenge as well. So they talked Drew McIntyre into letting them team up with him and everything. He obliged. So those guys teaming up, taking on the team of Dolph Ziggler, getting my D's mixed up. Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and Randy Orton. It was actually a pretty good main event match. Looked as though Drew McIntyre had it, but then out of nowhere, Randy Orton came in there with the RKO. RKO out of nowhere, picking up the 1, 2, 3. That was pretty much it. So Randy Orton picking up a little bit of momentum here as we go into Hell in a Cell, which, by the way, at this point, we are about 3 weeks away from that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event. If I'm not mistaken, Hell in a Cell is going to be happening on Sunday, October the 25th. Is that right, guys? I believe it's on Sunday, October 25th, when that pay-per-view is going to be happening. So, again, we're about 3 weeks away, give or take, from that pay-per-view event. So, that should be a pretty good main event match between those two teams. Between those two guys, rather. I'm actually looking forward to that, gotta say. I don't know about you all, but I like what Randy and Drew McIntyre have been doing the past couple of times. I'm equally excited to see what these men are going to be able to do this next go-around. So, I'm telling you right now, if I were to just give an early prediction, and if you've been checking out the show for the past several weeks now, what's the one question that I keep bringing up? What's going on with Edge? What is his status? What is his rehab status there? Is he anywhere close to 100%? Is he slowly getting there? And the reason why I've kept bringing him up is because depending on where exactly Edge is with his rehabbing could determine exactly how much longer McIntyre is going to hold on to that title. Now, that may upset some of you guys, but I kind of need y'all to follow the money a little bit. There's no denying that Randy Orton has been white hot this year. He has been white hot. And there is nothing more deadly or nothing more kick-ass than a Randy Orton that's chasing after the WWE champion. I have said that repeatedly for years. When it comes to Randy Orton chasing after whoever the WWE champion is, oh my God, what the writers are able to do for him and then what he's able to do with everything that's given to him, he always hits a home run. And as I've always alluded to on the show for years, the chase is better than the catch. Randy Orton, though, has sadly had, and it's weird when you think about it. It's really weird when you think about it because as great as he is chasing after the champion, once he becomes champion, after the honeymoon period is over, he gets stale real quick. That has always been the problem with Randy Orton. I don't know how you address that. I don't know if that's a case of writers failing him, a combination of, I don't know what it is. But depending on where Edge is with his rehabbing, I just have a feeling, my gut instincts, I could be wrong, but 2 cents from a distance, I have a feeling Edge will be back before 2020 is up. So, keeping that in mind, if you're asking me straight up, okay, early Hell in a Cell prediction here, who you got? I got to go with Randy Orton for the upset. I got to go with Randy Orton becoming the new WWE champion. I think it's going to happen. I actually think it's going to happen. Sound off. Let me know what you think about that. I'm most curious, but that's where I'm going with that one. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about from Raw tonight? Seth Rollins irritating the hell out of me. When is he not irritating me?
Murphy, you apologize. Yeah, apologize. You apologize. Apologize to your Messiah. Apologize, Murphy. Come on. Apologize. Come on. Apologize. Apologize to your Messiah. Everything's gonna be okay once you apologize. Apologize, Murphy. Come on, apologize.
Like, shut the fuck up already. My God, I wanted to just punch the shit out of this dude. Oh my God, that was cringeworthy on so many levels. I tell you what. Are y'all now starting to see what I had said several weeks ago, where not only did I say that what's going on with the Mysterios being the new McMahon family, rewind it back a couple of weeks, you know what I'm talking about. But on top of that, isn't this playing out exactly like Godfather 3? I know you guys have seen the Godfather trilogy. I know you all did. And we all can admit how bad Godfather 3 was. By the way, I think it's kind of interesting that Francis Ford Coppola is doing this new version, apparently, where he's got some unused footage. I don't know how that's really going to help the movie. But, you know, I'll bite. I don't mind watching it just to say I watched it and whatever. But it's playing out exactly like Godfather 3 when you really stop and think about it. Only there isn't the incest in this storyline. Although there is a very questionable, when you think about the age gap there between Murphy and Aaliyah Mysterio. But I'll let you all debate that one. I'm staying way the hell clear from that. But I can't help but feel as though Murphy and Rollins are in on this. They've been in on this from the jump. I just feel as though this is all in the name of having Seth Rollins ultimately win the war against the Mysterios. I think once it was truly revealed that, what's going on here with Aaliyah tending to Murphy here, I believe that planted the seeds then and there between Rollins, Murphy, and storyline. Hey, we got something right here. What if we can destroy the Mysterio family from within? What if we can do that? And then if we are successfully able to destroy the Mysterio family from within, there we go. You know, we're going to be done with them once and for all. Okay, well, it's pretty obvious the girl has feelings for you. What if we able to capitalize on that? I just see that happening. And what I also see happening at the same time is Murphy, truly a disciple and everything. And he's following in line. He's obliging his Messiah, doing the dirty work. But in the process of all of that, he actually does start to have feelings. He falls hard for Aaliyah. That's what I see going on here. That's exactly what I see going on here. But here's the thing. How much patience are the fans going to have with this story arc? That's the real question, is how far their patience is going to go with this. And, you know, you make your rounds on social media. Everybody's not exactly up and hollering and waving and just woo over this story arc here. So, Hey, women's tag champions, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, they were in the house tonight. Great seeing them in action once again. They defeated the team of, who was it? Was it the Riot Squad? Didn't appreciate seeing the Riot Squad. And look, I knew I was going to get somewhat of a competitive match. I just wish that of all the girls, I just wish that it wasn't them. You know, I just wish that it was any other girls but the Riot Squad girls there, particularly Ruby Riot. I mean, you want to put Liv Morgan in there, I'm okay with that, but I didn't particularly care for them kind of being fed there to the champions. Of course, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler continuing their angle there with Lana and girl, God almighty, sidebar. You know Lana is probably waiting patiently for that WWE contract to expire. You know she's got to be waiting patiently for that motherfucker to expire. And to freaking, who said the thing about Miro Day earlier? Victor on Facebook. Lana, don't you just hate Miro Day? I'm sure right now she hates WWE Day. I'm sure she is just... I'm sure she's got Creed's My Own Prison playing in the background, and she's just marking off the fucking calendar, counting down the days until she's fucking fulfilled all of her obligations to WWE. She's fulfilled all of her dates, and she can just sayonara, bitch, and go in AEW. You know the writing's on the wall. Come on. You know the writing is on the wall. It just sucks that whatever potentially was gonna happen with her and Natty or whatever, just her period. Man, how the mighty have fallen, huh? I mean, we go from her and in an angle that, say what you will, but it had people talking, where she was paired up there with Lashley and everything, you know, and Rusev was involved in that whole thing. Rusev was fucking getting over as well. I mean, we go from all of that to where she is now. You just can't help but go, damn, you know, weird aftertaste afterwards, you know? You know she's counting it down. You know she's counting it down. I think she deserves a lot better. I will say this. I know I've been very critical of Lana over the years. I have been very critical of her over the years. But I'll, in a rare instance, I'll actually defend her right here. I think she deserves better than what is currently being given to her. I do. I still don't feel that as far as the in-ring competitor goes, that's her strongest suit. I still feel that as far as being a valet, a manager, a on-air personality, that's where she really fucking shines the most. That is where she shines the most. And hopefully, once her time is up in WWE, get back to basics. Honestly, it would be nice to see her get back to basics again. Now, look, if she wants to continue to pursue an in-ring career, there's nothing wrong with that. But baby steps. I will say this, for those of you that want to pick my brain a little bit. Okay, Lee. Well, between Brandy Rhodes, Britt Baker, who else? Who else can we put on that list? I've seen people recently take some shots there at my girl Big Swole. She is actually, you look around in the forum, she's actually has taken some heat as well. But if you were to ask me straight up, okay, I would say just from those girls. Number one, like if I'm just a promoter and I'm just, okay, I need this girl to go out next and have a match. And somebody's got to stay behind. Big Swole, you up first. Second, Britt Baker, you're up next. Lana, you do a really good job taking an ass whooping. Don't believe me? Watch what you saw on Raw earlier tonight. Peep Raw out. Lana can take a good ass kicking. Lana, I need you to go out there. Need you to go sell. Go out there. Brandy, sit down, little buddy. Sit down right beside me. We'll watch all the action on the monitor here. You'll get there in due time. That would be honestly, she would be the odd man. Honestly, it would be a tie. But if I had to just seat one person, I would seat Brandy. So, you know she's counting it down there. Is there anything else we need to talk about with Raw? Anything else you guys want to pick my brain on? Well, with Raw tonight, I don't really think there's anything else we really need to talk about there. I think we did okay. Let me just look in the notes here one more time here. Looking at Raw. I'm just looking at some of the matches here, just trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to give a honorable mention to. By the way, the matches that we had on the card tonight, pretty fucking short there, man. Pretty fucking short. 4 minutes here. 4 minutes there. 1 minute here. 9 minutes here. Pretty short. Pretty fucking short. No, I don't really think there's anything else that we need to... Oh, you know what? I'm glad we're still talking about it, by the way. There is one match I want to point out there. Please don't ask me about the women's match that opened up Raw. I actually went to use the bathroom. Sorry, but I didn't care for those girls that were out there. And that's despite the fact that Asuka was involved in that whole thing. I went out and I skipped that one. I did check out the Braun Strowman match against Keith Lee. That was pretty fucking good. I just have this feeling Braun Strowman is definitely going to get drafted to Raw. And what we saw tonight was really just the beginning of their feud. But they did pretty good against one another tonight. I didn't particularly care for the spot over by the stage ramp where they basically went crashing into an air mattress. I mean, big fucking deal. I mean, we're going to throw some black fucking cloth over and we're going to try to make it seem as though, oh man, they put their bodies through some machinery and some other shit, some foreign objects. Like, no, I honestly looked like it was a bunch of fun. What I thought was actually going to happen, especially the part where I think Keith Lee had Irish whipped Strowman into the LED board over there by the stage ramp area. I thought for sure we were going to see some sparks fly and all of that shit. I was going to say, damn, I was ready to see that. Sadly, that did not happen. Speaking of fucking around with the foreign objects and all that, one thing, somebody needs to teach Shayna Baszler or give her some advice. Shayna, you know, when you're trying to put your opponent through a table, you know you don't have to be all delicate and everything like you're fucking making a sandwich. Go back, if you didn't watch Raw tonight, peep out the scene there where she's getting ready. I forgot which girl she had put through the announcer's table there. But just peep out how she's just, okay, and then I'm going to delicately take this off of the table. All right, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to take this off the table. All right, and I'm just going to take this off the table, but I don't want to unplug it. I just want to move this right here. Perfect. I mean, was she getting ready to put a fucking opponent through a table, or was she making a fucking sandwich and she's trying to figure out what condiment she wants to put in the fucking sandwich? That's how it came off to me. Like, she was making a fucking sandwich. Like, nah, man, you're gonna put somebody through a fucking table. Move, bitch! And then you just fucking, you just wave all that shit out the way and just put a motherfucker through the table already. Go back and peep that out. I laughed my ass off at that spot because I'm just like, wow, look at her. She's just being, you know, it was almost kind of like, what's the Looney Tunes joint with the two squirrels? It was almost kind of like one of those type of things, you know.
I do say, do you plan on putting her through the table? Why, yes, of course. Oh, we're going right ahead. Oh, no, I insist. You go ahead. No, you go ahead and put her through the table. No. I think it's your turn to put her through the table. Why don't we both put her through the table? Yes, that's a very good idea. Okay, let's do so. Yes, let's do so. Move the monitor. Moving the monitor. Move the iPad. Move the iPad. Move the cup of soda. Moving the cup of soda.
Look, man, fuck all that. Just roar, and then just crash a motherfucker through the table already, man. Crazy shit. Crazy fucking shit there. By the way, that Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, riddle me this. And this is the last thing about Raw before we move on. Riddle me this. So if in storyline, Adam Pearce runs into Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman, hey man, I'm here. I know you ain't got Raw Underground, but I need somebody to get this meat. I mean, get these hands. And you're like, yeah, I don't have Raw Underground, but, you know, you have no business being on this show, so we don't owe you anything. There's no reason for you to be here, so, You know, I can't give you a match because you're not officially part of this.
But I came all the way over here to give me a match, and I want me a match, damn it.
You're like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. I can hook you up, but it's not exactly going to be a match.
What? What do you mean? I don't speak that mumbo jumbo.
All right, so basically I'm going to find you an opponent, and it's pretty much going to be an exhibition match. So pretty much anything goes, do whatever you want. It's not going to count in the record books. It's not going to be reflected.
That sounds good to me. I'll meet him in the ring.
And so you get Keith Lee, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So if this is an exhibition, anything goes, then really these men should just really be beating the shit out of each other. We really shouldn't be seeing any move holds. Why these two men take the action out the ring, the referee is counting them out, and the match ends on a double count out. Motherfucker, we were just told this was an exhibition match. You even got Braun Strowman. Now, that was nice touch of detail on his part.
The hell are you doing? This is an exhibition match. What the hell are you doing?
I counted you.
Count me out. I'll give you a count out.
And he's continuing to beat the shit out of Keith Lee and everything. Pointless. That was pointless. I just thought that was the stupidest fucking thing that they had put on tonight. The stupidest fucking thing. Looks like Braun is, not Braun, but Bray Wyatt. It looks like he's probably going to be coming to Raw as well. And as a matter of fact, I got to upload the mock draft that we did from last week for you guys. I'm just going back here and I'm looking at my mock draft, trying to see who all I got going where. And I actually see SmackDown. Hang on here. Let me see here. Wow, surprisingly, I did not put Wyatt on Raw. I got Strowman on Raw, but I did not put Bray Wyatt on Raw. By the way, nice spot there between Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt. That was a nice little spot. I enjoyed the Firefly little fun house joint. Nice little tease right there. You got that feud going on, but you still got the KO Aleister Black feud. This is the only thing I don't like about the storyline right now. The only thing I don't like about the storyline is every single time it seems as though KO is trying to focus on something else, Aleister Black just keeps coming out of nowhere and kicking his ass. And KO is doing such a piss poor job and not acknowledging this person that keeps owning his ass with these surprise attacks. It's really weird. It's like you're at a club and you see this hot ass girl at the bar and you want to walk up to her and you want to get her phone number. You want to mac to her and all that. See what you can do. See if maybe you can take the action home, right? And as you're making your way, somebody just hits you over the head with a table. Maybe it's her ex-boyfriend. I don't know who it is, but somebody just hit you back of the head with a fucking chair. And you're looking around, you're trying to see what the hell is going on, you know, and the motherfucker is standing right there. And you're like, hey, what's your problem? What the fuck? Like, you get into it with the guy. And just when you think, okay, you know, it's over, you're continuing on to that girl at the bar, and the motherfucker attacks you again. It's like, I don't know about you, but after twice of an attack, yeah, that honey and her number, she ain't worth it right now because my mind is on some other shit. So before I go do anything else, I need to focus on this guy that keeps jumping my ass, and I just need to squash that once and for all. The most weirdest feud that's been going on. The most weirdest feud, just from a writing standpoint. I'm just scratching my head, just, you know, what the fuck? Weird. Just totally weird. But Raw, you know, really, do Mustafa Ali. That's what it was all about tonight. The Mustafa Ali spot. Stupidity there with the Keith Lee, Braun Strowman joint, but I actually legitimately was pretty pumped for that till the finish. That was really it. Pretty much a so-so episode. Bit of an average episode. I don't know. If you ask me, thumbs up, thumbs down. barely a thumbs up because of the whole Mustafa shit. If it wasn't for the Mustafa shit, I would definitely give that motherfucker a thumbs down. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Hey, let's get into a couple of headlines now. We're going to mix it up. We're going to give you guys some wrestling news, and we're definitely going to give you guys some non-wrestling news. So, look, let's kind of open things up with some non-wrestling related stuff. Let's go just a little bit political for a couple of minutes, and then we'll dive into some wrestling headlines and all that. All right. So, as many of you guys know, the president, a little bit of a health scare. He actually went to Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda. And I tell you, it was crazy. I didn't think that much of it at the time. But once I had got home, I would say Thursday night from work, and I was watching the news, and I, see what had happened with the president. Yeah, I'm like, wow. But it didn't really click in my head until the weekend. Oh shit. I actually saw the president on the helicopter being dropped off at Walter Reed Hospital when I was on my way to work. I had to really stop and think about it. I was like, oh wait, oh snap. Traffic was so congested. I'm sure you guys are seeing what you're seeing when you're watching your respective news reports, but being here in the nation's capital, myself and everything, and just seeing it, fucking crazy. It's almost like you'd have swore the Beatles were in town or some shit. The way people were just all on the sidewalk, kind of taking up a little bit of the streets and everything. Cars just honking as they're going past. Some not exactly sure where Walter Reed is. They're just doing these long ass honks. Honk! As they're driving past and everything. Fucking crazy. Just fucking crazy over there. And, as we know, he got a case of the COVID. Now, look. Anybody, and I said this on social media. And I'll go on record and I will say that there are a lot of things that this president and his administration I don't agree with. There's a lot of shit that I don't agree with. And my family, my friends, they'll tell you. I'm independent. So I can truly go either way. Either way, I can truly go. But my friends and family, they will tell you that I am as big of a critic on this particular president, and at the same time, if I feel that he is doing something correct, maybe things are misinterpreted. I'm not defending, but I will bring a point up that, well, did you think about this? And it's kind of like, no, actually, I didn't think about that. Well, consider that. But there's a lot of things that I've not agreed with, and I've seen how this president and his administration's policies and laws, I've seen how it's affected not just me, I've seen how it's affected my friends, my family, the handling of this pandemic being at the very top of it and everything. This isn't about who you need to be voting for, because to be perfectly honest, it's like saying, do you want to get stabbed with an ice pick or do you want to get stabbed with a pencil? Both choices are not good, quite honestly. But a lot of scrutiny was given on the president for deciding he was going to come out, sick as he is, with the diagnosis, that he was going to come out and get in his little motorcade, wave at the people, showing his support and all that. I was flabbergasted when I saw this. I'm going, what is this man thinking? And you just couldn't help but go, okay, he's got his Secret Service men, and I mean, thank the heavens that they're wearing the proper mask that they're supposed to be wearing. They were wearing their N95 mask, but you listen to the medical experts and all that, they're all saying the same thing. Yeah, you might be pushing the correct type of mask, So that does help you, but you still run the risk, sadly, of contracting the COVID. All the medical experts, they're jumping out there, and these guys, they're not being paid to, hey, suck up to the president, or suck up to Biden. They're honestly, hey, your medical opinion, and they're honestly saying, yeah, he had no business running out there. No. Now look, I don't care if it was, take that president out. Stay with me here. Be universal in your thinking right now. Let's take that president out. Put your favorite president. Just go down the list. Whoever your favorite president was growing up to this point. Take Trump out. Put that president in his place. Would you want that president to be in that motorcade with the COVID, trying to, hey, everybody, how you doing? Probably not. Now, on the one hand, you can look at that and you can say, hey, look, this is how you get rumors started, because look at the misinformation that was put out there from the moment the president had got to Walter Reed. Oh, he's fighting for his life, and he's in a coma, and is Mike Pence going to have to take over, and yada, 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 yakety smackety, and all this other crazy shit. Oh, he's frail, he's barely breathing on his own, and all this other shit. So there's a part of me, just any president, again, take that president out, put your favorite president in. Okay, so on the one hand, you hear of these reports, you want to show that you're more than fine. You are still able to walk at your own accord, and you still have your mobility and everything. You still got control of your, body functions and all that other shit. So whatever weird, bogus reports are being put out there, you want to dismiss those, right? But then it kind of goes, yeah, but wouldn't it make more sense to just keep doing what you were already doing with the pre-taped stuff and putting it out on social media? Wouldn't that make more sense to do for everybody's safety and well-being? I just can't help but knock on wood, and for those Secret Servicemen and everybody that went out with him in that motorcade, I hope they don't come down with the COVID. I really hope they don't come down with the COVID, because it's very contagious. And I don't know where our Patreon member and longtime listener Justin Rupstock is. I gotta check in with him and see how he's been doing. But he'll tell you, as far as COVID being very contagious, it is extremely contagious, because Justin, and again, shout out to him, he got hit with the COVID from all of the most weirdest, strangest places. He got hit with the COVID at an ATM machine out in Baltimore. And I remember when I was talking to him about it, I said, dude, how the hell did you figure, that's very specific. How did you figure? Well, simple, through process of elimination, I figured all the places that I've been, which really, was hardly that many. If I wasn't going to work, I was going home, and where I work, I'm pretty much by myself. I'm not coming in contact with anybody. I'm wiping all of my shit down. It's like it happened at an ATM machine. And I remember specifically after I got done making a cash withdrawal, I remember afterwards I had touched my face, was rubbing my eyes, and I said, oh shit. Whoa, really? So it's very fucking contagious. So I don't think it was a smart move, but you know what? It is what it is. But I just hope that going forward, now that the president has experienced what he's experienced with the COVID and all that, I just hope that, going forward, hopefully it's humbled him. Hopefully it's humbled him in such a way that, okay, you know what? Yeah, we do need to do a much better, tighter job on, what's going on with this. This is some bullshit. And for the men and women that continue to pop up and they came down with the COVID because they were at whatchamacall, hopefully everybody has a speedy recovery. One thing that I have found very disheartening, one thing that I have found very sickening, is the fact that people were wishing death they were wishing ill will on our president. Get help. Please get help. Look, no matter what your political belief, your religion, your race, your creed, your sexual orientation, we're supposed to be the country that, you know what, we love and respect everyone. Even when we have disagreements, we always do our best to show that respect and everything. Don't do that. And if you're gonna be that way, I hope you're at least being consistent in other areas as well. I mean, not for nothing, but we shouldn't be, as a society. Well, we can say this because, well, I'll counter with that. For some of you that follow Malcolm X, follow Martin Luther King Jr. When those men were assassinated, there were people that were cheering, that were actually happy that those men were assassinated. Same thing for the Kennedys, for John and Bobby. So, don't go, never, because karma can be a bitch, and it has a weird way of coming back. It really, really, really does. And I would like to believe that most of the individuals that were saying what they were saying on social media, I would like to believe that they were all, mostly young. Also, individuals that, oh, well, I'm just going to make this troll account and, nothing's going to happen to me. And I tell you what, anybody that was a grown ass adult that was wishing ill will, death and all that on the president, and you were using your actual picture for your avatar and all that other shit. See, this is the biggest misconception that a lot of people have. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to move on to our next topic, which is a fun topic too, because it's going to be wrestling related, which is this. This is the day and age now where any and everything that you say on social media, you think you have immunity because you're off the clock. You're not bothering anybody. You're essentially minding your own business and you're just reacting to XYZ. It has a way, history has shown that what you say on social media has a way of coming back to bite you in the ass. So you really got to be careful what you say on social media, because all it takes is one motherfucker to be pissed off with what you're saying, and they can go, hey, people, we need to know who the hell this motherfucker is. Man. Especially if it's, that's what I'm saying, man. You got to be careful. Even if you put your shit on private, you still got to be careful. Anything I need to say as far as political, religion, or whatever, I say it on my private social media accounts. But even I know if I'm going to say some extreme shit, I don't say it on social media. I will say that shit just whoever I'm talking to face to face, and I know they ain't gonna go run tell that, with just a select few, so you got to be careful. You really, really got to be careful, because if 2020 has shown us anything, all them Karens, all them Kevins that's out there has a weird way of, oh, we know who you are. We got what you said. You're red-handed. Next thing you know, you out of a job. Yada this, yada that, and then you got to explain, to your loved ones, well, why'd you lose your job? What happened? Well, I lost it over something I said on social media. Well, what exactly did you say on social media? Well, I said I wish the president death. And you're going to get that look. You're going to get that Booker T joint. I knew you didn't just say that. Tell me you did not say that. It's like, yeah, I did. Like, you got issues, ninja. Seriously. But it was crazy over here. Best news I heard, and I was telling my girl earlier, I said, please. I was telling her this before she went to work this morning, because today was my day off. I said, I hope he leaves the hospital and goes back to the White House. Like, because the traffic the past couple of days for me has been just the shits. And apparently, I have to rely on you guys, but last I heard, he was released. I've got the news on the DVR, but I believe he was released from Walter Reed. So it's like, if that's the case, like, yay, commute to work, to and from is going to be great again. I don't have to worry about psychos and crowds and tied up traffic and everything. Yay. So food for thought. So moving along, let's talk a little wrestling here. So how many of you guys are aware of the beautiful and the lovely Sarah Stalk? Remember Sarah Stalk? That name should sound familiar to you guys. She was one of the trainers down at WWE's Performance Center that was furloughed earlier this year, right when the whole pandemic shit went down. Well, looks like she got arrested over the weekend out in Indiana. She was charged with aggravated battery, resisting law enforcement, disorderly conduct, and public intoxication by alcohol. She has since been released by the sheriff's department. So you're like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? So definitely raised the eyebrow there. I mean, the one thing that I'm homing in on is the intoxication by alcohol. That's the main thing that I'm homing in on. She is someone, leading up to her getting signed by WWE and everything, she's someone that off and on I would keep tabs, seeing what she was doing, working in different promotions and everything. And I never heard anything scandalous, taboo, face palm. Like, what the fuck was she thinking? I never heard anything like that before. And so to hear this news, I'm not really gonna, and my best advice to you all, I really wouldn't put that much emphasis, I wouldn't put that much stock on this report. Everybody is entitled to have an off day. It happens once in a while. Sometimes you wake up and you ever once in a blue moon, man, I'm tired of doing things in the norm. Why do I have to do this all the time? Why do I have to do that? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do that? Fuck that. Let me shake things up a little bit. Well, you pay the price when you decide you want to shake things up a little bit. There's a reason why. No, just stay near the calm waters. Don't go past the calm waters, because if you go past and you go into them riptides and all that, it's going to be some serious trouble. So, and not for nothing, but over the weekend leading up to, that whole arrest thing and everything, it should also be noted, so many people were spending all the time, oh, she was arrested. She was, she was also helping out tremendously at Ohio Valley Wrestling. That was something else that she had did hours before the arrest had went down. And you can actually see it on OVW's official social media account. They thanked her for stopping by and everything, which, by the way, y'all know that Danny Davis is no longer the owner for OVW, do you? I hope you guys know that. It's now Al Snow. And I've been meaning to kick back and check out some of what OVW's been doing under his watch and everything. But yeah, OVW, by the way, if you have not seen what's been going on with Al Snow, physically, I mean, that dude is in the best shape of his entire career. I mean, he is fucking ripped right now. Ripped, naturally ripped. It's all natural when you look at this guy. You can't help but be fucking impressed with his physique. Very fucking impressive. Look, I would expect that she's probably going to talk about this whole ordeal. I'm sure it's very embarrassing and everything. I'm sure that when she has a moment, she's been able to collect herself and everything and get her affairs in order. I'm sure she will definitely issue some type of a statement and explain, okay, look, this is what all had happened. Because not for nothing, but she's regularly been posting videos on YouTube. And you can easily find her. You can just go to look up Sarah Stock on YouTube. Or maybe you could do Sarah Stock, WWE or something like that. You'll know her when you see her because she's only got just under 2,000 subscribers. So you'll know her when you see her. And a lot of what she posts on her channel, it's in Espanol. So if you're bilingual, hopefully I'm a little bilingual, but as far as just a betting man, just call it a hunch. But I have a feeling that as far as everything that went down over the weekend, I just have the strongest feeling that she's gonna give her first statement, if you will, or first official statement. She's gonna pretty much put it there on her YouTube channel. And it's actually a smart move, to be perfectly honest, because you're trying to grow your subscribers, right? You're trying to get more views on your videos, right? I mean, she's doing pretty good so far, honestly. I mean, from what I saw of her channel, she's averaging per video, she's averaging at least 1,000 guaranteed. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But my advice to her, hey, look, capitalize. There's going to be a lot of podcasts that's probably going to want to reach out, get your side of the story, try to understand, what all had went down and everything. And I get that, but, at the end of the day, you're trying to grow your own brand, right? You decided that you wanted to do this YouTube channel. So thus you're trying to grow your name, which is your brand, which is your product. So why not just save that for yourself and put it on your channel on your terms, where you don't have to worry about being filtered. You don't have to worry about things being taken out of context, misinterpreted. It is just you, raw and uncut. And not for nothing, but a lot of these vlogs that she puts up there, they last about an average of an hour. So it's not a case where she's just got to go in and, okay, quick 2 minute. She can pretty much talk as long as she wants and just keep it moving along afterwards. Speaking of being in control of your brand, being in control of your content and all of that jazz, good transition. So we got a new update for WWE talents when it comes to Twitch and all this other bullshit. So let's kind of set this up properly for you guys here. So Paige and Zelena Vega, two of the most outspoken girls over the weekend about what Vince McMahon is doing, as he's pretty much informed the company's contractors about, hey, before you get penalized here, you need to relinquish all your little third party. No more cameos, no more this, no more that. If you already got a Twitch account, well, you got to put that over to us. We're going to be in control of it, and you guys will get a percentage of that money, as that'll count towards your downsize. So Paige, very vocal on social media, she said over the weekend, Twitch is, or right before the weekend, Twitch is my place where I built with my wonderful fans, a place where people can go and feel some positivity and a little bit of normalcy, fun, interactive, non-judgmental, charitable place. I'm proud of what I built with my fan base. And she followed that up. She looks like she responded to somebody. Somebody said, I mean, yeah, but your fame got you the fan base. Not like you grinded from one viewer like most streamers. Now, that's a damn good point. That is a damn good point, because Lord knows when you are just an average Joe, when you're an independent mom pod, I would imagine that in 2020 and going forward, I would imagine that trying to have a podcast, trying to be a Twitch game streamer, just in general, I would imagine that it's much tougher now. And I tell you what, if you focus so much on the numbers, and that's what honestly trips a lot of people up. I've seen it time and time again over the years. People get caught up on the numbers. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I should be having more viewers. Oh, I should be having this. And it's like, when you get focused on that versus the quality of your content. And as I've always said repeatedly over the years, and I've always given advice to anybody that is interested in trying to be a podcaster. I have had people, and it's kind of funny too, and it's kind of fucked up at the same time. I've had people who will pick my brain, some of my friends / colleagues' brains on what they need to do to be a successful podcaster. You know, we give them, you know, the information that they need. We give them the best advice, which is from the heart. We give it to them straight up. And then once they take that advice, they think that, okay, so I've pretty much learned everything that I need to learn. I've asked everything that I need to ask from these guys. I'm good to go. I'm king shit now. And they act like we don't exist. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. You know, and it's like, no, it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as, hey, what's the recipe for your deviled eggs? Oh, okay, great. Okay, yeah, all right, bye. You know, it's not as easy as simple as that, sadly. I wish it was. But it's happened time and time again. I have seen people that get lost on the analytics. They get lost on the numbers. They get lost on the, I should be bringing in this money. And, you know, if you're trying to look into those avenues for money, first off, you're going to fail. If you go into those avenues going big numbers, you're going to fail. Quality over quantity wins every day of the week. So to that person's point, that's a very good, valid point. Now, Paige did try to counter that, and she said, nah, difference is I grinded 15 years for my fan base that I brought over to Twitch. Also dropping raids and 50 bombs on smaller streamers to help them grow. Not for bitter people like you, though. Work hard and you'll get a fan base too. She brings up a very valid point. What I need for Paige to understand, this person wasn't speaking out of pettiness. This person wasn't speaking out of being bitter. Not on the contrary. If she's saying that she was grinding for 15 years for her fan base, then essentially what she's saying is, I mean, you could do this with simple process of elimination. How long has she been in the WWE? At what age did she get started in wrestling? How long was Twitch around? When exactly did she first start using the Twitch platform and all the other gaming platforms? You know, not for nothing, but way before she came into the WWE, maybe amongst those that truly follow the independent scene and know who's who, yeah, you got a little bit of an underground cult following there, but, you know, it wasn't like she was a household name. It wasn't like she was a household name. I think that this is a case right here where, you know, the fan in particular, definitely right. The points that she's bringing up, they both are right when it's all said and done. They both are right. But see, you could also make the argument that, well, your stock, your traffic of followers, your analytics and everything, it's jumped significantly more because of your association with WWE and the platform that they were able to provide for you. It's like, you dare deny that? So, you know, if you really want to push that envelope there to that fan's point, it's actually a very valid point that fan is making. To each its own, as far as their interpretation goes. Selena Vega, she chimed in, and here's what she had to say. Actually, she was responding to Paige's joint. She said, and help people, including me, get introduced to what is now my favorite platform, filled with positive, like-minded, and amazing people. Just looking to have fun during hard times in the world. It's where people support each other and grow together, a family. Always grateful to you. And host charities for people and animals in need. Yesterday, we raised enough money to help someone get their cat the surgery they needed to survive. We love what we built and worked hard for. Mia Yim even chimed in. Gaming has been my escape from reality and a way to interact with friends and fans throughout this difficult few months. The community that I gained on Twitch also helped me raise funds for a friend's burial expense and a friend's kidney transplant. This is why I game. Dakota Guy started Twitch up again was purely for 3 reasons: to have fun as a gamer, communicate with you all during a difficult year, and to give as much possible back to different charities. Thank you all for the continued support. You know, and so you got people that are doing this right. And yeah, are they making a little bit of money to the side? No, that look, at the end of the day, you know, these talents, they got to somehow supplement what they're losing by the fact that as far as live events goes, there is no live events. So they got to make up for that revenue somehow. And so for WWE to now come in here and try to pinch that, it is wrong. It is wrong. It's fucked up, but you got to go back to the whole contract thing once again. But it's still very fucked up. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Paige would follow up right before the weekend in it, and she said, learned a lot about unionism today. Zelena Vega, Look, man, this is something that Jesse the Body Ventura has been very vocal about for decades. In a recent, or in an interview from years back that he gave to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would recommend you guys go back and you peep it out. It goes back to 2016. I'm only going to read part of it, but he said to Stone Cold, Vince is lucky that I never got to the Senate because I would have investigated that, because to me, look at the thousands of dollars it has cost all of us wrestlers to have to pay 15% or whatever it is as an independent contractor on our taxes. That's a bitch, what he said, B, that has been under my saddle since I began wrestling. I thought, we are not independent contractors. We can't work for another promotion on Wednesday and work for you on Friday. It don't work that way. How are we independent contractors? So, you know, it all ties back. Look, the only way that this is really gonna fucking click on all cylinders, talents need to get together. I mean, you can do it during this time. The talents just need to come together and say, look, you know, you're not going to tell us what we do on our personal time and have us cough up X amount of money from what we created as a result of, unless you want to talk about guarantees. Like, you know, where's the guarantee? Well, if we're generating X amount on a monthly basis from this platform, we need a new contract. We need you to guarantee that that money that we're making on a monthly basis from this third party distributor, that you're going to be paying us that. You know, the AJ Styles, the Paiges, the Selena Vegas, the Kevin Owens, you know, could you just imagine if they all had decided, okay, you know what, we're going to do a walkout. Ain't going to be no Raw, ain't going to be no SmackDown, ain't going to be no NXT. This is the time. They all can easily get together right now. It's not like, got to go to New York tomorrow because we got to do a SmackDown taping and then I got to go right to the next city because there's going to be NXT, and you could do it right now. They're doing everything out in Florida. You could do it right now and fucking unionize and really fucking put your foot down. But unless you got those people that's willing to fall on that sword and fight for that cause, you know, that's the problem, you know, is a lot of these talents, they, you know, look, I get it. They don't want to rock the boat. They feel that, hey, I've done XYZ for this company. This company has been good to me. I don't want to rock the boat because without these guys, I wouldn't have what I have right now. And who am I to decide I want to rock that boat? So until the talents in WWE get into a position where they stop thinking about I, and well, nah, you know what? This is just totally wrong. And this needs to stop. We need to do something. That's the key thing. As soon as you start saying we, you're already winning part of the battle. And until a situation can occur where the talents decide, you know what, this feels like the time right now where we all need to unionize. We all need to go on strike and tell WWE, no, we are not going to return for TV tapings, your pay-per-views. And see, here's the other thing. Some of these talents, they got to be prepared. They've got to be prepared. Because see, also part of the reason why you have yet to see this whole union thing really come about, you got to look at it from this standpoint. It's easy for you and me and everybody else. We can come up with all of these really cool ideas on, and be very passionate about why we think the union should happen and all of this. And the Andrew Yang's giving out their interviews and getting his 15 minutes of fame and all this other shit. That's great and dandy. I trust Jesse the Body Ventura more than fucking Andrew Yang. That's just me personally. Fuck Andrew Yang, as far as I'm concerned. It's easy to say, oh, this needs to happen. Oh, the wrestlers need to do this. But here's the thing. If you financially cannot do it, then you can't do it. Sacrifices are going to have to be made during this whole process if these talents in WWE decided, no, we're going on strike. We need to unionize and we need to get shit like this. Nah, we need to get that expunged. Like that's not how we're going to be doing business from here on out. This is a new era. They got to be willing to fight the good fight. Okay, this means if we go on strike, we ain't going to be getting any money for X amount of time. You good with that? Your finances, you're going to be okay? Some of these people got families that they're taking care of. So are their families going to be okay while this whole shit goes down? You have to be prepared. You got to be able to fucking grind this out. Because this ain't going to be just a month. Nah, you need to be prepared for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, hell, 7 months. You need to be prepared to grind the fuck out of this. Follow it all the way through. And for some talents, maybe like Roman Reigns, maybe to a degree Nia Jax, Randy Orton, guys like them, financially, they're going to be okay. They would be able to sit this out. They would be able to do the 6 months easily. But for other talents, nah, man, they're relying on that money. For some, they very well could be, one check away from having problems with their mortgage. Just saying. So those are the other logistics that you really got to stop and think about and really have in the back of your mind, well, this is probably the reason why some of these talents aren't trying to get together and unionize. And, you got to have some type of a safety net, obviously, because if you're going to do this, okay, you got to get some type of supplemental income that's going to come in. You got to do it somehow. And with WWE making these moves that they're doing now, hey, you got to cough up them third-party accounts. Now it's like, okay, so now I can't even do this? You're telling me I can't even do this now? But if I am trying to do this, you're trying to take over the account and you're getting a percentage of it? If I'm not mistaken, I think now, just bullshitting with the analytics here, but I would believe now that let's just say Twitch. I don't know how it is with Twitch and the ad revenue and all that. I would have to rely on you veteran Twitch streamers for it. But just hypothetically speaking, all right, you're with the Twitch affiliate program. Okay, so any money that you make, okay, let's just say out of 100%, what does that mean? Does that mean 60% comes your way and the 40% goes to Twitch? Or is it 70% your way and Twitch gets 30% or something like that? Okay, so if that's the case, that's pretty good. But now if we're going to involve WWE, okay, so now it's going to be, well, Twitch is going to continue to get that 35%. Meanwhile, WWE, they get, I'll say WWE maybe gets 50%. And you, the talent, now get 15%. Okay, so you just went from 60, 70, 75% or whatever. You just went from that down to about 15, 20%. How is that fair? How is that right? Especially when this is a channel, Twitch, whatever, YouTube, whatever, when it's something that you've built up for years upon years upon years, especially before you even came to the WWE. So, no matter how you look at this, yes, they signed contracts. We talked about this before. They signed contracts. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they signed this. The big difference now is that we got this pandemic going on, and sadly, by no revenues coming from live events, talent's gotta fucking supplement. They gotta somehow make up for that lack of money at the gates. So the cameos, the Twitches, whatever, this is how they all come into play. And WWE, it's like, let's be honest, WWE doesn't need Paige's Twitch money, and they don't need it because these motherfuckers just had one of their most profitable quarters in the company's history with all the cuts and shit that they were doing. So they don't need to do this. They're just honestly being fucking greedy when it's all said and done. Anybody that doesn't see that, I don't know what to tell you, but they got to be prepared. If they are seriously thinking about unionizing, you got to be prepared to go on strike, and you've got to be prepared to sit this out. You got to be prepared to tell WWE, no, we're not having any of this. We want things to change for the better, for talents that's going to come after us, and the talents after that, and the talents after that. You got to be able to fight this out. Now, sure, Vince McMahon and crew, they can easily just kick back and say, all right, well, these talents are gone. Okay, well, we're going to just go into the WWE performance pool and we're going to pull up some new talent. Let me tell you something. The talents would ultimately fucking win, because at the end of the day, WWE is a publicly traded company. This would send such a bad image out there from a PR standpoint. Oh my God, this would look so bad for the WWE on so many levels. On so many fucking levels. They would be the talk of the town. Real Time with Bill Maher, John Oliver, CBS, Forbes, you name it. They would be fucking all over the place for this bad press. And then on top of that, their ratings would fucking tank between USA and fucking Fox. Their ratings would fucking tank big time. Big time. So you could go on ahead and you can replace your talents with folks from WWE Performance Center that want the opportunities and all that shit. But your ratings are going to go downhill rather drastically. You will notice the impact within 3 weeks tops of the talents being off of your main shows. They could definitely win this. The only question is, are they willing to step up to the plate and go on strike to unionize and get this shit taken care of? That's the real deal. Only they know the answers to that. But to Jesse Ventura's point, man, yeah. Yeah. So, food for thought right there. Curious what you guys think about that. Would you like to see WWE talents go on strike? You know, you being the wrestling fans, knowing what would be at stake, especially for you as that fan, and just from the whole entertainment perspective, knowing that, hey, there could be a significant period of time, weeks going into months, that I'm not going to be seeing some of my favorite WWE superstars because they're going on strike. They don't like what's going on with their contracts. Would you be okay as a fan not seeing your favorite talents for X amount of months, all in the name of trying to have things smooth out what's fair for them and what's fair for WWE? Would you be okay with that? Or would that rub you the wrong way? I'm most curious. I definitely want to hear you all's thoughts on that. So definitely sound off. Hopefully, maybe by next week, if we generate enough comments, we could spend a portion of the show just reacting to what you guys have to say. And I'll definitely make this be a standalone excerpt available on the YouTube channel. So, other than that, some other stuff that we can get into while we're still on the air here. Congrats to Doc Rivers. I mean, we talked about this, if not last week, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. We talked about Doc Rivers, and I told you guys I felt he would be a really, really good fit for the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, here we are. What a difference several days make. Doc Rivers reportedly has agreed to a 5-year deal to coach the Philadelphia 76ers. He is to become officially their head coach and everything. And this is great. This agreement was supposedly reached on Thursday. And this is great. Doc Rivers is going to become the latest coach, try to take the 76ers to an NBA championship. And I love this. He's taking over for Brett Brown, who was fired after the 76ers were swept in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. You just kind of knew that was going to happen. Doc Rivers, as we know, I mean, this guy should have been able to go to the NBA Finals. He had a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets, and somehow, I mean, riddle me this, if part of your bench, coaching staff wise, if you got access to fucking Ty Lue, and I can't think of the other guy right now, you basketball aficionados would know who I'm talking about. The bald head guy kind of looks like Chauncey Billups a little bit or whatever. Bald head guy. He actually had coached the Clippers game in the bubble because Doc had sat out. He really wanted to put the spotlight on him. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. If y'all could tell me his name, you could jog my memory and everything. That'd be good. But you blow a 3-1 lead with that type of talent backing you up of assistance. I mean, for me, it was just one of the greatest disappointments that I've seen. I've seen a lot of NBA games since I was a kid in the early 80s. And for me, when I just think about, man, you talk about the ultimate choke. For me, that was the ultimate choke. That was the ultimate choke. The Clippers made all of those moves, moved heaven and earth, draft picks, you name it, sold your soul to the devil. They did all of these things to get a hold of Kawhi Leonard. These guys were penciled in. They should have been in the NBA Finals, and somehow they wasted a 3-1 series lead and lost to the Denver Nuggets. I told you guys at the time that, it was kind of sad. Sam Cassell. Thank you. Thank you, Steven. Thank you. Sam Cassell. Yeah, I like Sam Cassell. He is awesome. He definitely needs to get a job. He definitely needs to get a coaching job in the NBA. He needs to go to a team that's inexperienced. It's got to be a team that's building. That's building blocks and everything, and it can just be a whole development thing together. I don't know if maybe Charlotte Hornets or I don't know. I got to sit down and actually look at the teams again because that's how my memory could really jog itself. I would have to look at it again, but he definitely deserves to be a coach, as well as Ty Lue. And look, not for nothing, but Mark Jackson. I need for the blackballing and all that. I need for that to end already, and I need for Mark Jackson to fucking get a job somewhere. And despite all of that, the greatest travesty of it all, too, look, as much as I love Kenny the Jet Smith on TNT, he does a phenomenal job breaking shit down on Inside. And it would be a punch to the gut. He is essentially the heart and soul of Inside. You know, he really is. I mean, look, not for nothing, but when Ernie Johnson had his health scare a couple of years back, was it weird watching Inside without Ernie? Yes, it was. But you still had those other pieces, and you had Kenny that was, that was still there. And so for me, it just really feels like if Kenny is gone, because many of us that love and respect and we appreciate basketball, when it comes to Inside, we love tapping into Kenny's mind because Kenny can just break it down in such easy terms. You don't have to be hip on the basketball terminology. You ain't got to know about the triangle, defense, offense, all that other shit. You ain't got to know about all of that. Kenny can just break it down for you in a way where you're like, okay, I see that. Okay, The fact that he hasn't gotten a coaching job by now, I know Raptors, they were trying to do a little something, but for whatever respected reason, things didn't quite happen. But, he's also one I would like to see get an opportunity to coach as well. But Doc Rivers blowing that 3-1 lead over the Nuggets, I did not think he was going to lose his job. I thought he was protected. Never in my wildest dreams did I think he would lose his job. And this is my first time really talking about him being picked up by the 76ers and him losing his job from this standpoint, because we did talk about him getting fired, but I never really doubled down on if I personally felt it was a right or wrong move. It was a wrong move, and I'm going to tell you the reason why I felt it was a wrong move, and it's not long-winded at all. It was a wrong move because considering the fact that the Clippers and the Lakers at one point, after that shooting that went down, now bump this, we're not even playing. We're done. We're out of here. We want out of the bubble. Clippers were out. They were out. They said, that's it. We're fed up. We had enough. Why are we playing this? This is stupid. We don't want to be here. We want to be elsewhere. We want to be participating in protests. We want to be with our families. We want to be putting some game plans together to try to push for, better race relations between us and the police. This is bullshit that's going on. No, we want out. And Doc Rivers had to sit down as a leader, as a coach. He had to sit those players down, and he didn't just talk to them for 30 minutes and, there. He had to talk to these players for hours upon hours to convince them, no, you gotta do this. We got this far. You gotta do this. We're able to really be more vocal here than, what you guys are thinking, blah, 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 blah. But the Clippers bowed out. And this coach, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I said, if I had my pick and I was a basketball player and I could play for any coach, I would want to play for Doc Rivers. I just have so much respect for that guy. And the fact that he was able to get all of those players on the same page. Okay, we're going to do this, right? And then leading these men different personalities, combustible personalities and everything, leading these men during this point of history in America right now. Man, I thought for sure that he was safe. I thought for sure he was going to get one more season at least. And okay, well, let's see what happens. But that was just wow. But as we quickly saw, he got picked up elsewhere. And I did touch upon that. I said he ain't going to have no problem. He ain't going to have no problem picking up a job elsewhere. And, you know, this is good. This is good. 76ers were 43-30 this season. Pretty much an underachieved year, you know, so to speak. They were expected to be a serious contender in the Eastern Conference. You know, Braun originally, Brett Brown, he was tasked with, you know, rebuilding, you know, the whole process and everything like that. But Braun won only 47 games in his first 3 seasons, including a 10-72 record in 2015 and 16. So, you know, this is a good move. It's a good upgrade. It is a damn good upgrade. And I can't wait to see what Doc is going to be able to do with Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. Just conditioning. I touched upon this before, but Joel Embiid, man, he's got all the potential in the world. He can be that Shaq. He can be that Dwight Howard and then some. He can be that Anthony Davis and all that. He just needs a coach that can stay on top of him, training, the conditioning, you know, unlock, you know, because you can see the potential. It just really needs to be unlocked, and the only way you're really going to be able to unlock that, you got to get rid of some of those nasty vices. I'll never forget, and you guys will probably remember this game. I sadly can't remember the team, but there was this one game that Joel Embiid was playing last NBA season. And I remember seeing this guy on the floor. I want to say it was, God, was it after the second half? I can't recall. But he had a styrofoam joint of food. And he got his little fork and all that. It's actually 2 occasions. There was one where he was eating this food and he was in the locker room. And he looked up, he saw the cameras on him, and he shook his hand. He was like, no, take the camera off. And you're like, wait a minute, you're eating a big ass hefty meal minutes before you get ready to play a game. And I remember Ernie, Shaq, and them, they were ripping him. They were like, how's this man going to be eating a big ass spread like that before he gets ready to play this game? Like, the hell's going on with his conditioning? Now, say what you will about Shaq, and Michael Jordan with the cigars and the alcohol and all that, but they never rolled like that during the game. You know, after a game, that's one thing, but minutes before a game, and I remember there was one other time where Joel Embiid was eating something, but this time it was on the sidelines, and I'm going, what the fuck is going on with this? This guy's got some nasty vices. So, Rob Rivers, he's going to do a phenomenal job in eliminating those things. It's going to be fucking business. He's going to tighten that shit up. 943 wins, 681 losses in his 21 seasons as a coach. That's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. He's going to do good. I can't wait to see. This was a good grab. If you had to just pick the one place where, okay, this is the team, and when you stop and think about it, you knew in your heart of hearts he wasn't going to be going to a team that was going to be in just a total rebuilding process. You knew he was going to be going to a team where, you know what, these guys are just right there. They are just right there. My biggest trepidation right now, though, I just hope that this upgrade from the previous coach, I just hope this does not result in, okay, this go round, we're going to take you once again to the semifinals, but you're not going to make it to the NBA finals. I just hope that's not what we're trading up for, because the talent is there. for the 76ers. The talent is definitely there. You just got to do a better job grabbing some pieces from the free agency, from the draft and all that. You know, help out, you know, maybe with your three-pointing, maybe with your defense a little bit. But they're just a couple of pieces away. They got the right coach now, but they're just a couple, maybe 2-3 more pieces NBA Finals. I don't know if that can happen next year. I would say this needs to be a 2, maybe a 3-year process. A 3-year process for them to really just piece all of this shit together, and then boom, they could pretty much go from there. So we'll see what happens, but congrats to Doc Rivers. Like I said, if there's any coach I wanted to play for, if I was an NBA player, off the break, I would love to play for him. I would love to play for him. My second pick, just to kind of, you know, wrap up the talk of basketball and all that, my second pick for, you know, if I could play for any coach, if I couldn't get Doc Rivers, I would want to play for Phil Jackson, because I also can get very deep into the whole philosophical, spiritual talk and all that. So there would be that big part of me that would like Phil Jackson just for that. But at its peak, I saw what the triangle offense could do. And I would just love to tap into Phil Jackson there and understand that whole scheme of things and everything. Because that's essentially, he's the master of the triangle offense and all that. So I would love to learn under the tree of Phil Jackson about all of that. And just the fact that this was a guy that coached Jordan. He coached Jordan. He coached Pippen. He coached Horace Grant. He coached Steve Kerr. He coached freaking Dennis Rodman. I mean, personalities. Such unique personalities. And he was able to get these guys to come together. Then to take those same talents to Los Angeles. And he was able to take that playful, bombastic personality of Shaq and 24/7, I gotta be serious, Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. He was able to just make these guys click and stay focused and win a couple of championships. Here would be another one that I would like to play for. One other coach I would like to play for, I would have loved to play for, NBA. I personally would have loved to have played for John Thompson. You know, he just passed and everything, but for the longest time, I tell you, when I was watching the Georgetown Hoyas and all that, just like, man, he's good. He is. I saw the tail end of him coaching, and I just was like, man. And when I would get around older folks that remember his earlier years with the Hoyas and everything, you know, and they would just give me the revisionist history and everything. He's another one that I was like, man, okay. Yeah, I'd like to play for him. So Carmella had returned to SmackDown. No shit. We knew this was her. Look, there was a part of me that was hoping, man, maybe it was going to be Mandy Rose. Not Mandy Rose. What's her name? Sonya Deville. And there was part of me that was hoping maybe it was going to be her under some new crazy gimmick. But the more and more I thought about it, I'm going, it's Carmella. And what was the dead giveaway for the fans on social media? They did a phenomenal job in dissecting the body frame and comparing it to Carmella. But there was one fan on social media that saw this tattoo. I think that was on maybe her left arm. Can't really say for certain which arm it was on, but it was kind of like underneath, kind of faded a little bit. And you're like, no, it's Carmella, because look at this. And Carmella has the same marking, and it was dead accurate. And you're like, oh shit, it is Carmella. Yeah, that went over like a wet fart. It was nothing. You know, okay, so she's the mystery woman from the vignettes. Great. Just great. Okay, so she's coming out. She's got this new attitude and all that. Okay, great. All right, so you got a new attitude. All right, so do we need to cue up Patti LaBelle for you then? Ooh, I got a new attitude. All right, well, you know, good for you, you know. But she took to social media. She really didn't have to acknowledge this, but she acknowledged the reception that she's received as far as her return to TV and everything. And she said the following: been off TV and out of the public eye for over 5 months. I come back for one night, and the amount of negative comments I see just based on my looks alone is disgusting. I forgot what a toxic place social media can truly be. Thank God I know what a hot bitch I am. Well, look, that's great that you understand. And first off, you have self-love, self-appreciation, self-respect for yourself. But you just said yourself, you forgot how toxic and blah, blah, blah that social media can be and everything. Well, I mean, how could you forget that? You're with Corey Graves. If anybody knows a thing or two about being under the gun of social media, it's Corey Graves. So, why even entertain the idea of going on social media? Why even entertain the idea of seeing what people have to say about you? I'll tell you why. Vanity. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Some of these people, they need to have that justification. They need to feel validated. They need to feel, ain't I great? Some people just need that seal of approval. Man, what I did, oh, that was great. Yeah. Well, let's see what people are saying on social media. The minute that you start caring about what people are saying on social media, you've already lost the fight. I've said it repeatedly over the years. If you focus so much on trying to please everybody, man, you're going to lose your identity big time in the whole process. You're never truly going to be you. That's why you just got to say, fuck the haters. You just got to say, you know what? I'm just going to do me. I'm not going to be concerned with what people, have to say. I'm not going to be concerned with that. Hey, I appreciate the fan base. Appreciate those that's following my work and are respectable and everything. And when they have constructive criticism to give, that's great that they've got the constructive criticism to give. I'll definitely, listen to it and take it into consideration and pretty much go from there. But come on, these wrestlers, athletes, entertainers, you name it, these guys are always going on social media, seeing what people are saying about them, about their work, because they want to feel that validation. They just do. It takes a big person to admit what I'm saying. That's the first joint. The real people that you should be asking, though, is like, look, if I've been off TV for 5 months and I'm getting ready to make my triumphant return, I'm sorry, but when it counts the most, and I'm a bit curious about how it had went and all that other shit, honestly, people I'm going to be talking to, I'm going to be talking to the writers. I'm going to be talking to the producers. I'm going to be talking to Vinnie Mac. I mean, anything that, I should do different, I'm going to be doing all of that. I'm going to be doing my best to put in my own 2 cents as far as the creative input and all that. And abide by, okay, so you think we should do, okay, all right, you're the boss, no problem. Your toys, I'm playing in your sandbox, all right, no problem. If I had to go outside of that, well, then I'm going to go to my peers off the record and I'm going to say, what do you think? Seriously, what do you think? I'm going to go there. So the last thing I'm going to do is go on social media, as toxic as it is, and, oh yeah, so let's see what... No, I'm not going to do that. Look, I think she's an attractive woman. When you get past all the makeup and the weave and all that other stuff, I think she's a cute woman. I do. I think she's cute. Not as cute as Mandy. Not as cute as Naomi, not as cute as Amber Moon, Bianca Belair, but she's cute in her own respected way. She damn sure is not ugly. And, why are we acknowledging these trolls that's what I don't understand. What, are we doing this for sympathy points? Are we doing this to play the victim so that, we can get a bunch of hearts, likes, and have our confidence be built up and all of that? I mean, seriously, it's like, these people are out there and they're doing XYZ. So why even... I don't understand some of these talents sometimes, boys and girls. I mean, as long as I've been doing this show, for me, social media, it's easy. It's easy with social media for me. At the end of the day, I'm a brand. I'm a business. I'm promoting the shows. I'm talking about the products. Once in a blue moon, if a fan brings something that I think is witty, very inquisitive, it all still ties to whatever that product is that I'm talking about. I'll do a little engagement or whatever. But, even at that, it's okay. I'm keeping it in and out. I'm focusing on the business. I'm keeping it in and out. That's how a lot of these talents need to be. Sadly, when you try to be everybody's friend on social media and you try to respond to everybody and you try to heart and like and retweet almost every single body that you come across and everything, you eventually fall into that trap of self-love, self-validation, and all this other shit. You always lose at the end of the day when it comes to that. To each its own. WWE, they did put out an official announcement on Jey Uso taking on Roman Reigns, Hell in a Cell. So yeah, it's on. I'm actually looking forward to that. That should actually be a pretty damn good joint. Good feud. And just hearing more and more that The Rock may actually... I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for that. Let's see. Other than that, how are we doing on Showtime here? Oh, we're doing pretty good. We're about 2 hours, 12 minutes in the talking here. I do want to send a speedy recovery to Scott Norton. Love this dude back in the day, man. Scott Norton is undergoing knee replacement surgery. The WCW and New Japan alumni, he has undergone knee replacement surgery yet again. He made the announcement on his Instagram account. This was his second surgery that he got. His first knee replacement was in March. So long recovery ahead of him. So speedy recovery to him. And let's end it on this note. Let's end the show on this note. Because we did pretty damn good tonight. We went boop, 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 boop. We're all over the place tonight. We did pretty good. One last topic I want to get into. Walking Dead. Walking Dead had their season finale on Sunday. It was weird too, seeing these guys come back, because it's like, wait a minute. We're only getting one fucking episode and you guys are gone yet again? Like, what a fucking cock tease there. It was a serious cock tease, man. But no, Walking Dead, they finally brought us the season finale episode that we were looking so forward to right before the pandemic came about. I believe at the time the episode was still in production, but matter of fact, there was like a couple episodes that they were doing that was still in production, but the pandemic had fucked things up, and we just got told this season finale, it would come to us later on in the year. And you're going, okay, well, that fucking sucks. So, Walking Dead, a certain doom. And yeah, we heard the news that Daryl and, Melissa McBride, we heard that, they're going to be in their own Walking Dead spinoff right after they get done with the final 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. Walking Dead has been renewed for a 10th and 11th season. So this series is going to be wrapping up when it's all said and done in 2022. Now, look, some of us, I'll definitely go on record. Walking Dead should have ended maybe 3-4 seasons ago. You could almost make the argument Walking Dead should have been over right after Negan. Like, maybe Negan just should have been killed. You could make that argument, but you knew we were going to be getting the whispers in there, and if the series was going to end, it's got to end shortly after the whispers, because there's only but so much you can do and everything. 6 months. 6 months we had to wait for this episode. 6 freaking months. It was weird getting back into this, but it was easy for me because I didn't watch the episode before the season finale. I kept meaning to watch it, and once I got the news that the finale wasn't going to be coming out till later this year, it was, okay, well, you know what? I'll just hold on to this episode, and when it finally comes out, all right, I'll be good to go. So, the basic plot, the survivors, they're in the tower, they're getting ready for the horde, led by Beta. Beta has now, taken over and everything, and he's trying to extract revenge for Alpha and everything. Beta is essentially the new Alpha, when it's all said and done. The survivors, their plan is to somehow lure the herd away in hopes of getting it to this equipped wagon that has these explosives and other stuff. And basically their whole idea is, well, we'll just get this horde. We'll maybe kind of lure them to the end of a cliff. And that's how we'll be able to take care of all of them. And somehow we'll be able to get Beta in the whole process of this. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be able to do. And you're like, okay, that sounds okay on paper, but what the fuck? So as all of this is going on, you got fucking Lydia, you know what? I really like Lydia's relationship there with Negan. I really did. Negan really shined big time for me in the season finale. He really, really did, because you could feel the friction between Lydia and Negan. To the point, you get this really great, heart-touching moment between the two. And Negan says, look, I know you're feeling like shit right now. You're holding back. I get it. What I did to your mom, there's no coming back from it. Look, if it makes you feel better, I didn't want to kill her. I didn't. I gave her every single opportunity. I did not want to kill her. It may sound crazy, but there were a lot of things about your mom that I actually did like. And to hear Negan say that, you're going, flying fuck, what exactly did you like about this woman? Because this woman was the whatchamacall good or something? Like, what the hell? What was it exactly? Weird. Just totally weird what was going on there. I gotta take a quick pause because, by the way, I am seeing what you guys are posting in the Facebook chat there. So we got like this long ass diatribe of this guy that's trying to pitch his fucking Facebook account. And give me 1 second here, and I'll knock that out real fucking quick here. And let's see how I can get rid of that there. Give me a second here. Yeah, we'll see. It's gone from the mainstream, but here's what I'm gonna do real quick here, and we'll get back to the talk of The Walking Dead here. Here's what I'll do here. Once in a while you get this. It's sad. I'm trying to promote my Facebook page. I'm trying to promote my page, my GoFundMe, so I can, my GoFundMe, GoFuckMe, whatever the hell you're fucking calling it here. But no, it was a great conversation, an intimate moment that Lydia and Negan had with each other, and Negan's like, look, I saw some good things there in your mom, and I did not want to kill her. And look, you just need to go ahead and your frustrations, you need to let it out right now. You want to hit me, go ahead, you can hit me. And, Lydia, she really, really fucking went there with him. She really went there. She said some of the most hateful and spiteful. Woo! That shit was. I felt for Negan. I'm like, damn. And then you're wondering to yourself, how does Negan come back from that? Because what Lydia was saying to him, everything that she was saying to him was essentially the truth. Which, in a nutshell, no matter how hard Negan tries to win the hearts over, of all those people from all of those different communities, they're still going to remember all the pain, the suffering, the torture, the deaths. They're still going to remember all that shit about Negan. So it's kind of like, okay, so water under the bridge? No, it ain't going to be water under the bridge. You can forget about that. So you got that interesting dynamic that's going on there. How about the fight, though? How about the fight that had went down between Daryl, Negan, and Beta? Man, that was fucking epic like I don't know what. That was an epic fucking fight. I loved it. I loved it. And you kind of knew that they were going to be doing some type of epic fucking fight. You just kind of got that vibe. At least I did. I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of got that vibe because I remembered the whole knife fight from earlier in the season, or maybe it was last season. I just remember going, man, that's pretty fucking badass. I would love to see these guys go at it again with this. And to see them fucking go at it yet again, but it was so brief. That fight was so fucking brief, man. I wanted to see these guys go at it, not for no 5 minutes or anything like that, but I was hoping that we were going to get like at least a 2-minute joint. And we didn't get that. Beta went out like a fucking pro. I gotta tell you, that was beast how my man went out. So sadistic, yet tragically beautiful at the same time, how he went out. Loved it. I loved it. I ate all of that shit up. So at the end of the day, Whisperers are no more. They're pretty much done. We still got Daryl and in the picture and everything. I'm happy that Dog is still alive. I'm very happy that Dog is still alive. I like Dog. Sincerely, no bullshit. I love fucking Dog. And then I also like the little girl, Rick Grimes' pretend daughter. I mean, we know that's not really his daughter, but what a great actress she is. I mean, she plays that character so fucking well. So fucking well. And just seeing her intimate moments there with Daryl, she's saying to Daryl, hey, I want to go with you. It's boring back there. It smells like cat urine. I don't want to be there. I want to go with you. And Daryl wasn't trying to have her tag along at first, because this whole thing, dangerous, blah this, blah that. But she insists on going. She's got to learn one way or another. So Daryl is showing her the ropes and everything. What a teachable moment right there when they came across that one Whisperer. And Daryl is trying to extract whatever information he can. He did wound her in the whole process and everything. And once he gets the information he gets out of her, I mean, arrow to the fucking head. That's her reward. And then, poor little girl, she's like, did you have to do that? Why'd you do that? And Daryl's explaining, we're just going to leave her? Like, yeah, well, what if she has a family? And you're like, woof. So you're already seeing the personality really, really. I mean, she was always years ahead of her time there, especially with her interactions with Negan and everything. But to see just the maturity level of where she is right now, you know, you can't help but go, she's got a little bit of Rick in her there to a degree. Like, okay, see that there. It was a good finale. It was a good finale. Kinda, you know, maybe because this episode came 6 months later, but just the way everything was just crammed into, okay, we got to get rid of Beta, we got to get rid of the Whisperers, and we got to move on to the next saga. Which, by the way, seeing the stormtroopers there at the end, while Ezekiel and the rest of the guys, that crazy ass Mexican chick with the hot fucking big bazooka gun. I'm not talking about her boobs. I'm talking about the actual bazooka gun she was carrying there. That was fucking wild. So if I understand this correctly, I guess the stormtroopers ultimately are tied to Rick. If I'm understanding this, I have not read the comics. Don't plan on reading the comics, sadly, because that's one comic series I would have to buy like every single fucking issue. Some people may disagree with that. They may say, nah, you just got to check out key issues and you'll be okay. Nah, man, I got to actually, I'm one of those type of people. If I really want to understand something, especially if it's based off of a comic book, I got to have like the entire series. Now, if it's a case where there's like 500 issues, forget about it. Forget about it. That ain't happening. If anything, I need to have a good source material. Like, okay, give me the milestone issues. I'm like this. If you can't make your point in 15 issues or less, as far as what to recommend, fuck it. I'll just wing it. I've got to be one of those rare guys that, as far as Walking Dead goes, I can probably say I've never picked up a Walking Dead comic book. So what I see happening before my eyes on this show is a really fresh perspective compared to those that faithfully follow the comic book, and they also follow the TV show and everything. But it was okay. I did not check out Walking Dead World Beyond. I didn't care for it. I really didn't. I didn't care for it. I to my credit, I did try to watch at least 5 minutes. Couldn't get into it. Could not get into it. So I wish that series well. I think they're only supposed to be around for 2 seasons. But honestly, I'm going to keep sticking to my traditional Walking Dead. I don't care about Fear the Walking Dead. Don't care about that. The only time I will ever watch those other spinoffs, there's got to be milestone episodes that ties directly into Rick Grimes. Unless it ties into him and all that, it's like, and basically setting up that movie, I'm not interested. But it was a good finale. It was a good finale that we had there. All right, so with that, I'm going to stick a fork in it, and I'm going to say this show, we can put this in the books. It is done. Your next edition, I'm actually off work on Friday, so that is when you guys will be getting your next edition of the RCWR show. I'm thinking if I don't come on Friday afternoon, I'll definitely come on after SmackDown goes off the air. I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards coming on Friday after SmackDown. Maybe we can make that be a real short show, because sadly, Saturday morning, I have a quick turnaround because I'll have to go in for work on Saturday. So maybe we can keep it as simplistic as possible, and we can just talk about SmackDown, talk about the draft, thoughts on the draft and everything. We could do it like that. Sprinkle in a couple of headlines, and pretty much call it a night. So tune in for that. That's definitely going to be dropping on Friday, October 9th. Again, after SmackDown goes off the air. Patreon members, new month. That means new content. Gonna be a new Impact Showdown that's going to be dropping for you guys. By the way, sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio content, video content, exclusive content you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. Shout out to our Patreon members, Justin Ripstock, Gino Morgan. Shout out to John Davis, Michael Wolf. Shout out to RAW. Shout out to Tony Bean Gaming. You guys want the very latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and Marvel's Avengers. Check out Tony Bean Gaming. Tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, reviews. That man is the shit. That man is the shit. He's good. He is fucking good. And that is pretty much going to do it. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR show. If you guys are going to be looking for the audio version of this, the show's pretty much done. All I got to do is mix this down. And that's only going to take me 30 minutes to do. So you're just now tuning in and you're like, damn, the show's over. Audio version of this is going to be available in about 30 minutes. So look, 2 a.m, you decide you want to go to your favorite podcasting platform, it should already be on there. Should already be on there. The webcast version, that's going to be available on, actually, as soon as I get done hitting the record button. And to the person that's asking the question about Roman Reigns, check out last week's RCWR show. I dedicated almost 45 minutes to doing a mock draft, offering my thoughts on where everybody should be going. Check that out. And I would encourage everybody else to check that out. Again, we'll be coming back this Friday. We'll tackle night 1 of the WWE draft. All right. Till next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you all next go round. Adios.
Thanks for listening. An Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive.